I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any type of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is my thoughts on the new releases that recently released. I read 5 new releases, and I'm just gonna talk about them and my thoughts and feelings and my ratings. I'll go in order of release date. Jasper Vale by Devony Perry. It's an arranged marriage. It's the 4th book in the series. It's about Eloise Eden and Jasper Vale. He is the trainer for Foster. If you read the previous book in the series, you know Foster is Taya's fiance, but Jasper is Foster's trainer. So, in Vegas, they get really drunk and they get married. And when they sober up, they don't remember actually getting married. And Eloise wants to get a divorce from Jasper because she doesn't want her family to find out that she was irresponsible, because she wants her family to give her the Eloise in. That's her whole goal. So she's trying to get her marriage annulled. But Jasper convinces her that they can stay married because he has a wedding that his ex-wife invited him to. And he wants to take Eloise to that wedding so his family can see that he moved on. Eventually, they decide that they want to stay married, and that's the whole premise of the book. And they get to know each other better. Like Jasper. Also, this is the spiciest Devony Perry book I've read, so if you're looking for that, I suggest you read this book. Family, like he doesn't trust it because of his family situation. So they decide to stay married. This Jasper Vale, I gave 3.5 stars because I just thought everything would just go, go, go. And you never really got time to breathe. Like, first they wake up in Vegas married, then they want to get annulment, then they decide they don't want to get an annulment, and then they go to this wedding and they fall in love, and she tries to get control of her family's in. And I just thought we never had time to breathe in the book. And I didn't really believe their connection. But I do like that we got to see the Eden family in this book. That's what I was missing from the 3rd book, that the family wasn't involved. I do like that the family is involved in this book. That's why I give it 3.5 stars. And that Mateo, the last Eden brother, in this book because we kept hearing about Mateo, but he never actually showed up in the books. So I like the fact that he showed up in here. I want to talk about is Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles, and I like this one a lot. It's about Ren and Halt. Ren and Halt used to be high school sweethearts, but something happened senior year in high school where Ren was attacked during a burglary, and Halt feels so guilty. So when he stays with Ren as she recovers from her injuries, but when she gets better, because of his guilt, he skips town and never comes back until like 9 years later, when he comes back because his father had a heart attack, and he never really forgot about Ren, but so that's also another reason he comes back. But he also wants to make amends with his family because he didn't only hurt Ren when he left, he hurt his family. And it's Halt trying to earn everyone's forgiveness and trying to see if he can make things work with Ren again. And also, what happened 9 years earlier, like the burglaries and stuff, is happening again, because the people that were injured in the burglaries, they are slowly getting killed. So Halt is very protective of Ren, because he doesn't want Ren to get hurt again. So I liked their romance. I thought it was very sweet. The book was very good. I loved the family. I found family for Ren, and I love Halt's family, but I wish she made him grovel a bit more. That was my only complaint. I mean, I feel like at the beginning she was like, no, I don't want to get back together
also,
with
that
you.
I think the suspense
they
overtook the romance.
and I think
it was more of a romantic suspense, and the romance took a back seat.
I wanted her to make him grovel, and Ren did not, so that's why I gave it 4 stars. But I still really liked it. If you like romantic suspense, I suggest Catherine Cowles, but because I could not guess the ending. She did really well in that department, because I could not guess who the killer was. Next, I read Powerless by Elsie Silver. This was so good. And normally, I'm not a French syllabus kind of girl, but I gave it 6 stars. It's about Sloane and Jasper. Sloane is engaged to this guy that her father wants because it was some sort of merger. And so she's engaged to him, and then on the day of their wedding, Sloane receives information about her soon-to-be husband that gives her the courage to escape with the help of Jasper and the Edens. and something happens to the Eden family. I'm not gonna say what it is because that
I feel
will be
like
a
I can finally talk about Powerless now that it's released. Before I was very
Jasper,
vague.
on a personal level, he doesn't even have the will to play hockey anymore because so his coach suspends him because he should have told him what was going on. And there's a situation where Jasper and Sloane have to go to Gold Rush Ranch, Elsie's previous series, to go see Violet, Sloane's cousin. And through this road trip, they realize that what their feelings toward each other is more than friendship. Like, Sloane has always had feelings for Jasper, but she always thought that this feeling was one-sided, so she thought nothing can ever come of it. But through this road trip, they discovered maybe her one-sided feelings are not so one-sided after all. And I love the French truce to lovers in this book. It was so sweet. But what I loved most about this book was learning about Jasper's past and the interactions with Harvey and how he came to the Eden family and the found family aspect. I'm a sucker for found family. That's why I gave it 4 stars. I gave Heartless 6-star book. And the next book I read is probably my favorite book of the year, The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford.
Thank you, Caitlin, for introducing me to Liz Tom Ford. I'll link Caitlin's channel down below in the description. I love her.
Indy, I can never remember her last name, but if you read Mile High, you know that Ryan is Stevie's brother, and Indy is Stevie's best friend. Like, one day Stevie goes to Ryan, and she begs him to let Stevie stay in her old room because of the situation that happened with Indy in book 1. So Ryan says no at first, but then Stevie starts to say that he's disappointed in Ryan, that he doesn't want to help her best friend. So Ryan and Stevie are very close. So he gets into his sister's demands, and Ryan and Indy start to live together, and Ryan is the grumpiest guy you'll ever meet. And they get into a situation where they have to fake date each other because Ryan's basketball team owner says he is not personable enough. Like, he doesn't give off the friendly vibes. He doesn't have a girlfriend. And Indy is invited to a wedding of her friend that her ex is gonna be there. So they both agree to fake date each other to help them out of that situation they're in. And Indy breaks Ryan's walls down. And what I love about this book is that Indy loves romance books, but Ryan likes self-help books. And he's like, they made a bucket list together and they put it on the fridge. And he said, okay, we'll do this fake dating thing. You can teach me how to be with a person again, and then I'll teach you how to put yourself first. And I just love them together because it's I hate everyone but you trope. I love it. And the way Ryan loves Indy, oh my gosh, it is so swoony. The amount of things he does for her, I just can't help but swoon. I cried so many times in this book. I cried tears of joy and tears of sadness when you learn about Ryan's past and the things that he had to go through, and also the things Indy went through in her past relationship of not being seen. That was so beautiful to me. I couldn't help but cry. The representation in this book is on point. Indy's dad is part of the deaf community, and Ryan takes steps to communicate with Indy's father. And I'm not gonna say how he learns sign language, because that will ruin the most beautiful part in this book to me. But the grand gestures Ryan does for Indy, it just melted my heart. And Ryan Shea reminded me of Cade Eaton. He was the grumpiest grump, but around Indy, he can't help but come out of that. And if you want someone that reminds me of Cade Eaton, please read this book. I love it so much. The Right Move, 6 stars. It is my favorite book of the year. Please read this book. The last book I read is The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. And it is the 3rd book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. It is my
Thank you to Jasper Vale for convincing me to read The Final Offer. I'll link her channel down below in the description.
Callahan, and in his grandfather's will, he has to move back to his grandfather's old house. But what he doesn't know when he returns, that his best friend / ex-girlfriend lives in this house, and they try, and they're co-owners, and Cal tries to sell the house, but Alana want to sell the house. She's a baker, she's a single mom, and everybody in this town is so mad at Callahan for what he did to Alana. But Cal has his reasons for doing that, and once he figures out, he still in love with Alana, he pursues her. So it's a second chance romance. Cal struggles with alcohol. So there's addiction. And I love this book. I love Cal. And I love that we got to see the rest of the characters, even though the rest of the characters of the previous book, even though I really didn't like the previous other two. But the reason why I give it 4.5 stars is because it did something that I didn't like normally, is when they overhear something they weren't supposed to hear and they jump to conclusions and breaks up with the other character without giving them a chance to explain. And that was the heroine. Alana jumped to conclusions without giving Cal a chance to explain. And I do not like that in my romance tropes. And you can tell that Cal was trying so hard, but she was so, she kept doubting his feelings, and that wasn't my favorite part either, but I loved Cal. That's why I gave it 4.5 stars. If you're gonna read any book in this series, I suggest reading Final Offer. That's my favorite book in this series. Those are all the new releases I read. Those are all my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of these books. And I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see ya Wednesday. Bye.